there's less than 20% that we do in a conscious way. So more than 80% of the things we do, it's done in a subconscious or in an unconscious way. But somewhere it got in there. So if we look at our subconscious mind, it's your past. So, and even more. So if we look at that, it's the way you were your birth. How were you born? How did that happen in your life? What happened in your childhood? What happened with your parents and the ancestors? So that's also in your DNA, in your energy. A lot of parts are stuck in there. What did they say to you in school? How was your education? What did you believe, or what did you start to believe in those days? Maybe your school results were not that good, and they always focus, well, you should work better because this is not good. And maybe because of that, you feel that you're not worth it or that you're not good enough. And that might be an unconscious belief which still triggers you today. Also, the culture that you were born in, or the religion that you were raised in, can have an impact on that subconscious mind. The traumas you had, past experiences, your own beliefs, personal lies you have about yourself. So I noticed that a lot of people, if I start working with them, it's like they're not good enough, or they have the feeling not being good enough, or they have the feeling not being worth it to have a wonderful life. So those are the first things we need to work in. But also the conception, the way the conception happened with your father and your mother, and the time you were in the womb. I worked with a client, for example, where that man, his mother tried to do an abortion, yeah, but it didn't work out. But he still had the feeling that every time he had the feeling that people would attack him, would do something with him, because that's what happened when he was still in the womb. They want to take away his life. But okay, it didn't work out, but still this impression is stuck somewhere in the unconscious or the subconscious mind, and makes that still today. We need to work on that fact that nobody is attacking him. It's just an old memory in the subconscious mind that still has some emotional charge around that. So in negative emotional charge from the past continues to send out. It's like you send it out to the universe and it comes back in one way or another. So you attract some kind of identical experiences. So the law of attraction, I know most of people know that and work with that. So we can attract in a conscious way, but there's a lot of things that we attract in an unconscious way. So that's why breathwork can or is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious mind. So if we go for our own personal evolution, if you see at the conception, the time in the womb, the birth, the period after the birth, when you're a baby, in childhood, we see that the first years of our life, we don't have a real memory of that. Maybe they told us what happened in our life, but if we look for ourselves what happened in that 6 first years of our life, it's in there somewhere in our system, and it's especially feelings and emotions that were stored in our system. And it's only from the age of 6 years that we have a start of a real mental development. What do I mean by that? Most of the time, that's when you start to go to school and learn how to read, learn how to write, learn how to count, and so on. So as from that age, you have a real start of mental development. And then, of course, as from the puberty, it's more in a conscious way, and we start to work from the mind, not from the feelings anymore, but from the mind, because that's the part that is being developed very hard in our society. So memories and feelings and emotions are stored in the unconscious mind. And important is to know, a lot of people, they try to explain everything from the mind. Why this is happening to me? Why? And if you get stuck in that monkey mind from why things are happening to you, you get stuck over there. So it's important to acknowledge your feelings and your emotions and to dive into that and use your breathing to release the emotional charge from your past. And don't try to understand where it's coming from, because it's in there, but you don't have a clue what it's all about. And just by breathing, some memories can come back, or you can have some insights to do that. Of course, it's not always easy to dive into your emotions and your feelings. I can understand if you're angry, or if you're feeling sad, or if you feel miserable, or if you don't feel worthy. We have installed a lot of runaway mechanisms to not go into our feelings. Maybe some people smoke. Maybe you're addicted to candy. You're just ignoring the things that are happening in your life. Maybe you're addicted to alcohol or to food. Even sex can a way to escape from your feelings. Social media. Is it really useful to be on social media all the time? Shopping, taking antidepressants, laughing things away, smoking cannabis. Dive into your work, being a workaholic, watching television all the time, using unhealthy food, emotional eating, even Botox, fillers, plastic surgery to feel better because you don't feel that you're okay, playing games, gambling, anxiety blockers, being obese. And there are probably quite a lot of more things that people install to just not go into their real feelings, to not acknowledge their real feelings and emotions, and just using things to feel better in an artificial way. And these are just a few examples. Another way to present it, it's systems to steal energy from people. And from the Celestine prophecy, they use 4 archetypes, like the intimidator, the aloof, the poor me, and the interrogator. And if you don't have a clue yet that you can get your energy from breathing, from meditation, from the universal energy source, lots of people keep stealing energy from other people in a certain way, like intimidating people, asking questions all the time, being in a situation from poor me, what's happening to me, or you just run away, you just keep quiet, and then that's the way to ask attention or to ask for love from other people. Or another way to present it, it's the drama triangle, where you have the persecutor, the rescuer, and the poor me. And the nicest thing is that don't go in any of these roles. We don't need that. We can just observe what is happening, just feel and stay with ourselves, and don't go into that roles. So that's the way I present it to people and ask them, well, in what kind of situation or what kind of archetype are you using to get your energy from other people and not being connected with the universal energy source. So don't steal energy from other and get out of the drama. So if we want to become conscious of who we really are, I already said it, conscious connected breathing is the fastest access to the subconscious mind. It's really the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious mind. And it's also the gateway to universal energy. When you do the conscious connected breathing, it's ventilating your energy system, because we are all the time, we are surrounded by a lot of things, a lot of energy of other people. So when you start to breathing, you ventilate your own energy system. You're also bringing extra oxygen into the body, which can make the body alkalic as well, which is good as well. And of course, you breathe energy to increase your energetic frequency. Also, conscious connected breathing, it's clearing blocked energy, it's adding extra energy into your system, into your body, getting back into your feeling and allow vulnerability. So that's why most of the people, they hide for their feelings. When they're feeling anxious, or when you feel, how are you doing? They say, well, I'm doing fine. But is that really true? How are they really feeling? Are they daring to show who they are, who they really are? And also important, together with the conscious connected breathing, and that's something I really stress on, or that I tell to people, make sure that at the same time you use affirmations. If your belief is I'm not good enough, that you change that and that you start repeating all the time I'm good enough, that you use your conscious mind to repeat that all the time, so that it can dive into the cells of your body, so that every cell of your body knows I'm good enough. Because if every cell in your body knows I'm good enough, you will never have the feeling again that you're not good enough, or that you're not worth it. So it's important to also use affirmation, positive mindset, for, I call it, upgrading yourself, or become a better version of yourself. So it's working on the body, it's working on the mind, it's working on the soul. So we have those three angles that are being touched by conscious connected breathing and with the affirmations and the positive mindset. So it's good to understand what are your negative thoughts and what are your negative beliefs, and to really change them and use affirmations and positive thoughts and breathe them in. Breathe them into your body, breathe them into every cell of your system. So just get started, because in this way, with the positive thoughts, you can let it flow into your body, into your system, and make sure that you have some better experiences. So it all starts with, we're unconscious about our negative thoughts and the way we are lived, or the way we live and the way we behave. Yeah. At a certain moment, we become conscious about, hey, my God, there is a negative thought about myself. I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough. Other people are better than myself. So you become conscious of what is stored in your unconscious mind, which is still there. Then in a conscious way, you say, okay, let's change it. Let's use the affirmations and repeat that all the time. Yeah. So that at a certain moment, it's just part of yourself. So in an unconscious way, you know that you have changed, you have made a transformation of your negative belief or your negative system about yourself. So you are what you believe, but you have to keep on believing that you're good enough, that you're worth it. You can always direct and master your current thoughts. I always say to my students and the people I work with, if your monkey mind is bringing you everywhere and it's driving you crazy, just ask yourself the question, do I have a problem at this moment? And the answer is always going to be no, I don't have a problem right now, because I'm thinking about my past, things that happened, or I'm anxious about my future. And that's why my monkey brain or my thoughts are taking me. So it's important, the moment you're in there, just realize yourself, do I have a problem at this moment? And the answer is always going to be no. So conscious connected breathing, to go from the unconscious mind to the conscious mind, and affirmations, repeat, 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 repeat all the time, together with conscious connected breathing or conscious breathing. It can be in a fast way, it can be in a very dynamic way, it can be in a very peaceful and loving way, to upgrade, I call it like that, your unconscious mind, so you can have a better life with more love, more passion, more joy and fun, what I explained to that. So also important, I also already said it, that the 7 first years of your life, so conception, the time you spend in the womb, the birth you had, the first 6 years of your life, you cannot understand what happened there with your mind unless they explained it to you. But from yourself, you don't know it. So do not try to understand everything with your mind. Dive into your feelings, dare to listen to what you really feel and what emotions comes up when you are triggered by something. So dare to live from the heart. It's really daring to show who you really are. We don't have to be ashamed of who we are. Everybody, all of you, we are all unique. And that's something we need to remind ourselves all the time. We're unique, and you cannot be better than anybody else. That's not something you should do. Try to work on yourself. Try to be every day a better version of yourself. and be every day, be better in what you do and in the gift you bring to this world. So most of the time we have disappointments still stuck in our system. There's heartache of past relationships where we still have some emotional charge. There is fear. We are ashamed about ourselves, ashamed about things we have done in our life. We are still angry at maybe specific persons or because of things that happened with them in our past. Maybe we feel guilty about some things. There's still pain, inconvenient things, sadness. There might be a low self-esteem. And if you reject all these things, if you suppress all these emotions and feelings, it keeps on playing with you. So it's important to allow all these feelings. If they're there, just allow them. And once they come up, just use your breathing, your conscious connected breathing, your own breathing to dive into that, give it space, ventilate it, and transform it. So we don't have to put on a mask. Let's not do that and show ourselves who we really are. Because if we suppress all these feelings, those bad feelings, they're not bad feelings. They give us not a pleasant feeling, but they're just feelings we have. So it also means if we suppress these and we are not showing our vulnerability, that we, by consequence, also suppress joy and happiness and love and gratitude in our life. And if we can all be in a state of joy, happiness, love, and gratitude, we can be an important, or we can play an important role in this world towards other people. Another thing that I also add in this first presentation to people, I talk about the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. So that's a book about the secret behind successful people and people living in abundance. It's also about attracting money. Yeah. And these are the things. I made a summary of what they say, what you need to do to become successful and to become rich in life. First of all, you need to have a burning desire. What do you really want in your life? Yeah. Second thing, make sure you can already visualize it, that you have to feel it with your entire body, and make sure you focus on it all the time. You have to have trust that it's possible. You have to have faith in yourself that you can do it. Believe in yourself. Trust, faith that anything is possible. Get started. Make a plan. Don't wait till you have all the certificates that you need, but just get started, make a plan, and make choices. You have to make choices in life. Every step you take is a step forward, and from there you can take another choice. You also have to be disciplined. If you want something in your life, I want to run a marathon, for example, if I choose to do that, if this is my burning desire, then I have to have the discipline to train every day and to make sure that I have the right shoes, that I have the right foods, that I have a training scheme. I have to have the discipline to do this every day to make sure that one day I can run this marathon, if this is my burning desire. But that's something we can choose ourselves. Make sure you are surrounded by the right people. So create a mastermind group or get the right experts on board to help you with what you want to do in life. Be one with your strength and just do it. Believe in yourself, just do it. And also important, take some time to reflect and to meditate on what is happening. And if you get an insight about that, make sure you go into the action. It's important that when you do meditation, when you do your breath work, when you reflect on things and you get a specific insight, just act on it. Be creative, use creative solutions, follow your intuition, and do it for the highest good of everybody. You can start to sell drugs, for example, to get a lot of money, but I believe that's not really for the highest good of everybody. So I also, well, why not? I'm quite sure about it, that it's important to make sure that everybody or a lot of people will have advantage from what you are doing. So keep on going, continue, and also important, don't judge about other people. Get away from negativity. It's not up to us to judge about other people's life. Everybody has his own journey. Everybody has his own historical or history, his own past. So don't judge about other people. Just let them be who they are, so you can also that also you can be who you are. Use auto-suggestion, so use the affirmation. That's something they bring as well. And then something they also say is burn your bridges. So what they mean by this is you have to leave your past behind. But as I just explained, we are directed from our unconscious mind for more than 80%. It means that this part is a really important part. So before you can go that, my strong belief is that conscious connected breathing is really important to use on your journey to make your dreams come true. So it's time for action. It's time to breathe. It's time to be free. So let the magic begin. So we have current breathing to reduce the stress. You can calm the mind with yoga, tai chi, mindfulness, meditation. There is conscious connected breathing, breath work. Connection with nature is important to raise your energy. And choose. Life is a choice. Life is a journey. So what do you want to do with your life? It's your life. It's important to know that it's your life, nobody else's life. You know, you don't have to worry about other people's life. It's your life. So what do you want to do with your life? Yeah? Anything is possible, but you have to allow it and you have to work for it. And you can use your breathing to make sure that you get the insights, that you get rid of all the blocked energy that is still there in your unconscious mind to move forward. And then I already said it, these are always also ways to raise your energy level, the breathing, the food to water, move the body, your environment that you live in, your thoughts, and go into gratitude. Gratitude is a really strong energy to raise your frequency immediately. And every night, every morning, I stand up and I'm already in gratitude and say, thank you for this new wonderful day, even if I don't know yet what is going to happen. And at the end of the day, I always take my moment just before I go to bed and I just walk through my day and say, well, thank you for this. Thank you for these beautiful things. And maybe there were some things that were not that nice that day, but that's okay. That's fine. It's important to focus on the things that you were thankful for that day. And you will see by focusing on that, what you're grateful for, that it will become bigger in your life, that you will get more of these things so far. So yeah, let's have a look at, do you want to fight for energy or do you want to connect to the universal energy? Are you in a situation where there is still some duality in your life, like everything it can be good or everything can be bad, you're still judging? Or can you accept that everything is okay and that you can just go in a modus of observation? Do you want to be right in everything you say? Or is it okay for you that everybody has his own truth and that you can have your own truth as well, even if it's not the truth of what other people say? Do you want to have power? Do you want to have possess a lot of things? Or can you stay into your authentic power, who you are? And are you ready to sharing what you know and what you have in this world? Are you blaming others of all your problems? Or can you see your own responsibility in every situation? Yeah, just some questions you can think about. Are you in a modus of criticism or putting down others? Is there envy in your life, jealousy? Or can you be constructive when you work with other people? Do you lift them up and can you really appreciate what they do? Yeah. Are you focused on downsides or do you focus on the talents of people? Yeah. Most of the time people say, yeah, but you cannot do this and you cannot do that. It's not important what people cannot do. What is really important? What they can do. What is their gift? What is their talent? And let's bring all these talents together. And with all these talents, we can make a different world. but there's a lot of things that I can't do, but these are not important. And there are a few things that I'm good in. Okay, so let's use these talents, and you have them as well, to make this world a better place. And if you're in a relationship, maybe you have to look into that. When you have two partners, what is the result of both of you? Are you in a relationship where you can really lift up each other, where 1 and 1 is more than 2? Yeah, just think about it. What do you want to do? Do you hold on to the past? Do you want to keep control about every situation? Or are you ready to go into a flow, letting go of what happened, and can you just accept the current situation and work from there? Do you feel isolated? Individuality against oneness? Do you feel the oneness? Do you feel the cohesion? Do you feel the connection with other people and with all the things that are happening in the world? Do you live from fear, or do you live from love and trust? Are you attached to things? Are you dependent? Do you have a codependent relationship? Or do you choose to be independent, to be on your own, in your own energy, but being connected with other people? Are you still being in competition? Like you want to have the biggest house, the prettiest dress, you want to have the best results at school? Or are you just choosing for your personal growth? And are you ready to collaborate with other people? Are you stuck in your ego, limited to yourself? Or do you see your life that you're a soul living a human experience? And do you want to contribute to the higher plan? Are you occupied with the others, or can you stay centered with yourself? And then I asked to the audience, so in which column do you want to be? Do you want to be in the red column, or do you want to be in the green column? And everybody says, well, of course, we want to be in the green column, but it's not that easy to go there. I said, no, of course, sometimes it's a bit difficult, and there are a few challenges, but you have to get started and make sure that you do your breathing, that you do your affirmations, that you reflect on yourself of what you want to do, what you want to offer to the world, and get started, not wait any longer. And the nicest thing about breathing, and it doesn't really matter what type of modality that you are using. Sometimes people ask me, yeah, but what type of breathing do we need to use? But some are using the nose, some are using the mouth, some are breathing up in the chest, some are breathing in the belly. I said they are all fine, because every way of conscious breathing brings you immediately in the now. It's now, it's in the present, here and now. And I like this this picture of Lao Tzu, who says, well, if you are depressed, you're living in the past. And if you're anxious, you're living in the future. But if you are at peace, you are living in the present. And the message I also bring to people, keep things simple, keep it easy, so people understand what you are saying, that they can understand your message. Sometimes when I hear politicians and economical explanation and so on, I just wonder myself, but what are they saying? I don't understand the clue of what I try to understand it, but I say, keep it simple so everybody can understand, and that you can take everybody with you. Speak always your truth. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. I still see that a lot of people, they lie or they hide things because they are afraid of the reactions of other people. You are not responsible for the reactions of other people, but it's important that you speak your truth in a loving way, in a caring way, that you always speak your truth, so that you can really show yourself as you are. Yeah, act from love and be in service for other people. Of course, we know that, or most of the people know, because we have the experience with conscious connected breathing, and most of us have done quite a lot of sessions. But when I work with new people who don't have any clue what a session is all about, so we do a few times those 20 connected breathings, so people can already feel what's happening in their body, what's happening in their mind, what tensions they feel in their body just by those those 20 connected breaths. And then I say, well, if you do a session of 45 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe an hour, or maybe longer, there might be some physical resistance. So your body can react in different ways, where you feel tension, where you can feel pain, where you can feel the tizzling, where you can feel like your body is blocked completely. There might also be some mental resistance, the mind that says, oh my God, where am I going? And who wants to stop everything. There might also be some emotional resistance. So these are all the emotions and feelings that come up when you have this session. But at the end, it's like, just allow the energy, allow the ki, the prana to flow in, so that you connect with your own life force energy, with your own source, with your source. So I invite the people, just surrender, make sure you have a good breathwork practitioner where you feel confident with to do these type of sessions, so you can really surrender, go into the process and keep on breathing the energy. And whatever happens is the right things that will happen for you at that moment. So I think we're at the end of the presentation. So if you want to know more about my breathwork journey, you can go to my website, joyoflifebreathwork.com, and you can, the ebook Breathe to be Free, it's a kind of magic, it's available over there. You can order it over there. And I started my breathwork journey in 1999 with Marie-Rose Windels. So this presentation and my book is also a tribute to her. I always mention her in every workshop, every keynote speech that I give, to really honor her, because she brought this gift to me and I'm very grateful for that. And as Geert explained, in the meantime, I'm also part of the executive team of the International Breathwork Foundation. So what we want to do is really unite and inspiring people through conscious breathing. And the purpose of the IBF is to promote a heart-centered approach to breathwork, its theory and practice, for the expansion of consciousness and for personal and global transformation. And I'm really proud, I feel very humbled to be part of this loving community. We are an international network organization, embracing all breathwork modalities. So every breathwork modality is bringing transformation in one way or another. So we embrace them all. Our membership is open to everyone who is interested in conscious breathing and breathwork. Amongst our members, we have a lot of breathwork practitioners, organizations and schools, but also individual people. We have members in more than 40 countries. And since a few years, we also have that special consultative status at the UN Economic and Social Council. And these are my colleagues from the executive team. With the red shirt, we have Pippa. We have Pierre next to me. With the white shirt, we have Maria. And with the green shirt, we have Fabienne. So thank you guys that we can do this journey, this thing together. And we work, of course, with a lot of volunteers within our organization. So we have the work group who's dealing with all the UN things. We have our program for conscious breathing in the classroom. So there will be more about that later on during this World Breathing Day. We have our Global Inspiration Conference, so the JIC, how we call it, which is organized in a different country every year. We have a program for coherent breathing for trauma recovery. We have a group working on science and research, and so we can share this with our community. We have a breathwork development fund. We have an initiative where our members can breathe together online. Also the breathing circles that we have around the world has started within the IBF. And now we have breathing circles all over the world. And also World Breathing Day was an initiative that started from IBF and that we roll out into the entire world. So I will stop the sharing now. And if people have some questions, feel free to ask them. Of maybe Geert, I'm just looking at the time. Oh, we are 20 past 10, so
Perfect, perfect.
maybe you want to interrupt.
No, I got a question from somebody who was asking where they can get the slides of your wonderful presentation.
How can we do that, Geert? Oh, they just sent me an email. I can send them to them.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just, if you go to the website joyoflifebreathwork.com, you can find the contact form over there, and just drop me a mail that you say, well, you saw my presentation, and then I can send it to you. So that's fine to do that. Or you can write to the organizer, to Geert, as well, and we will find a way that it gets to you.